Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Conversations about all things priesthood. As usual, I'll be your host and my name is V. And today I'll be having a conversation with Sandra, who I'm really looking forward to having a conversation with. So I'm just going to hand over to you, Sandra. Would you be happy to just briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Reverend Sandra Schloss. I'm the vicar at St. Luke's Church in Peckham, which is in the Diocese of Southwark. I'm also the area dean for Camberwell, which covers about 9 parishes. I've been there. I was ordained in 2013 as a non-stipendiary priest. I then served my curacy in Croydon, in a church called St. Mildred's in Addiscombe. I had a great time. It was a wonderful curacy, and then I applied to go full time through the candidates panel in 2017, and that's when I came here to St. Luke's in Peckham. So I came here. I had to do a second curacy, so I did a second curacy, and then the incumbent that were at the time, he left in 2019, and then there was a small vacancy, and I was put forward to be there to take over from him, and I commenced as a priest in charge during lockdown. So during May 2020, I took up the role of priest in charge of St. Luke's in Peckham, and then last year I became the vicar.
Wow, wonderful. Well, thank you. And I think this is the first time we've met, well, virtually.
Yeah.
So wonderful. Well, as usual, I always start with the first question, which is, what is your understanding of priesthood? Which is a big question.
It is a big question. So unfortunately, I'm glad you sent me the questions in advance. So I'm a bit prepared. So for me, priesthood, it's a real privilege. I find it is a real privilege. I think you feel like you're being called by God to walk alongside other people. So for me, that's, it's really important. You're actually walking alongside other people at their lowest times, but also at their really joyous and wonderful times. When they have a baby, when you can do the baptism, when you can do their, be part of their confirmation classes and preparing them to actually affirm their faith in Christ. And also celebrating the Eucharist to me is a real privilege. I just absolutely love that, where we can actually celebrate it so people can actually share and receive the body and blood of Christ.
Wow. Yeah, no, thank you for that. And I guess that sort of leads me to the next question, which is actually one of my favorite questions, which is, what would you say from your own experiences, what have been some of the joys and challenges of priestly ministry?
So some of the joys I've probably mentioned earlier with being invited to someone's house. I think when you're invited into someone's house, to me, just because I'm wearing this, I'm actually invited into someone's home to be a part of their life, to have a discussion with them, to talk to them, to share their deepest and darkest thoughts and secrets. And also, and there'll be times when I'm invited in to be when they're at their lowest points, when they're, maybe they've lost a child, at times like that. Those are some of the challenges as well. But the joys, it's just wonderful when you're welcomed into someone's home. Another, for me, recently we've been going to a care home and been able to share the communion with the residents of the care home. And some of them, obviously some of them are elderly, they don't really understand what's happening, but actually just being able to be there with them, being part of them going through their daily life and struggles and things. It's just, it's an actual joy. Challenges, I guess challenges is like maybe the opposite of those, being at times where it's really difficult for someone, their mum has died, their father has died, their brother has died, those are really like tough times, and it's tough being there with them, and sometimes you just don't even know what to say, so sometimes you're just there and you just might just be in silence, so those are some of the challenges, and those are really difficult times.
Yeah, no, and I just want to just personally, I know this is the first time we've sort of met virtually, but I've heard a lot of great stuff about you, and I just want to say thank you so much for all the amazing work and for your ministry mission as well. Final question, do you have any words of wisdom or encouragement for individuals who are currently exploring whether God is calling them to priesthood, or for those that will be exploring whether God is calling them to the vocation of the priesthood?
So for me, I just think it's really, really important to listen to what God is saying to you. I'm one of those people. I'm not very academic, but God has called me there, you know. I'm not, you know, I wouldn't say I'm the best person. I wouldn't say I'm the worst, but I wouldn't say I'm a great person. But I would say that God has called me. And if God can call someone like me, and you know, and we read throughout the Bible, God called all sorts of people to their role of ministry and to lead his people. So it's really, really important to listen to what God is saying to you. And if you really feel it's true, talk. And I think always talk to someone who's been there before, you know. Try and find someone that can actually be like a mentor to you. It could either be your spiritual director, it could be someone else who you respect as a priest. You know, try and speak to someone and help them talk through what you need to go through to actually get there. It's really, you know, and it's such a blessing. Seriously, it's just the most wonderful, wonderful thing. And I love doing it. I love doing what I do.
Yeah, and I have to just echo what you said about find yourself a mentor or a spiritual director. I mean, I currently have a spiritual director and I also have a mentor. And they're both really helping me as I'm sort of going through this whole discernment process, helping me to wrestle with some of the questions that I'm wrestling with. So yeah, definitely agree with get yourself a mentor or a spiritual director.
Yeah.
Well, this has been, you know, a quick conversation, but it's been really rich, and to me it's been really useful. And I hope for those of you that are watching, or for those of you that will be watching, that this conversation will be useful for you as well. If there's anything that perhaps you're confused about, or you would like to have a further conversation about, just get in touch with myself and I'll be delighted to have a chat with you. My contact details will be in the information box below. I don't know if it's below or up, whatever, in the information box on YouTube. So yeah, until next time. Thank you so much, Sandra. Bye.
It's a pleasure.